Hello my friends and welcome to the fourth and final campaign. It is Shadowrun Hong Kong. We are once again stuck in 2K 1920 by 1080 because running at 4K results in absolutely tiny text that is completely unreadable. This high-res mode option actually fixes some of the text, but it doesn't fix the in-game engine text. Is still like it will be like this on the screen. It is so small, it's almost impossible to read. So depending on your resolution, you may see some black bars here. There's nothing I can do about that. I've made my bed with I would rather be able to see the in-game elements than and have black bars than. Well, I don't see the black bars because this is half of my 4K monitor, so this resolution works for me without black bars. But some of you have got like ultra widescreen or like quite high widescreen resolutions will probably see a little bit on the sides. But I made my peace with it because otherwise it's minuscule text o'clock, even though the rest of the game looks quite nice in 4K. Now, I would normally show you when I finished this game in the past, but I'm not entirely sure I did finish it in the past. I first played it back in 2015, which I think is around when it came out, but then I dropped it for a bit, and then I think I picked it back up again. And I'm not sure if this is actually the end or not, particularly. It might be the end. I think I may have finished it. There's the bonus campaign here, so I must have finished it. But I did drop it at one point, and that was just because the game got needlessly wordy, and I just got bored. There's no other way way to word it. I got bored of it. But anyway, let's go. Now, normally I would say that melee melee in Shadowrun is usually a weak class, but because of the way these games have been designed, melee does have some real advantages, and that is because the enemies seem to just always run at you as if you were ranged, instead of trying to distance you, which is what you do against melee characters, and, you know, splitting up your guys so you can't just be AP chained. So, to make this campaign a bit less of a walkover, I'm going to play what I think is probably one of the weaker classes out there. And simply because in my guide, to character building, one person was like, why don't you rate, like, spellcasters? The main reason is because spellcasters have to give up cyberware, and fully maxing out your cyberware gives you a huge increase in power towards the mid and end of these games. But if you go spellcasting, you cannot take cyberware. Well, you can take maybe a tiny bit, because it impacts your essence, and your essence is necessary for spellcasting. And every point of essence you lose one cooldown on your spells, which really hurts you. But if you're going to play a true spellcaster, then amusingly enough, you should be playing a dwarf. I don't know why dwarves have more willpower than the other classes. Seems a little strange, but there we go. This is a little bit different to playing charisma, spirit controller, which is actually a genuinely powerful class. Also, charisma's got some nice spells like haste. As a willpower caster, you are just basically a weaker rifleman with prettier graphics, in my opinion. But hey, let's go. Let's try and get this to actually match the picture. Somewhat. I guess this sort of works. Okay. Minimum 3. Absolutely minimum 3. I've always wondered if additional essence actually improves your cooldowns even more. Additional essence is not something you can typically get in Shadowrun, but they added it to this game to let you fit even more cyberware. But my question is, does the extra essence allow you to spellcast even better? Okay, I'm gonna go with even building here. Should we dip for totem? Might be worth dipping for totem, especially as a spellcaster. Let's see. Being able to boost your allies' accuracy, but as a spellcaster we can get aim, so we don't need that necessarily. Mages, because willpower doesn't offer any defensive benefit, are quite soft, so let's go with this minus 10% passive chance to be hit. I may consider dipping charisma if for haste, if nothing else. It's sort of easy to say, oh yeah, just go full willpower. But the spells are not, like, amazing in the willpower tree. Offensively, they're the best that you can get, but utility-wise, they're not that great. They're okay. Aim is quite nice, armor is
You have one new message.
Hi. It's Raymond. I hope I have the right number. Look, I know we haven't spoken in a while, but I need your help. Remember the day I took you and Duncan off the streets? I told you that the past is just a story, that if you can just accept that, your past loses all power over you. Yeah. I was wrong. I'm on my way to Hong Kong now, to finish something I should have faced a long time ago. And I need you with me. I know we're not blood, and we didn't leave things in a good place, but you and Duncan are the only real family I have. Please. If our past means anything to you, meet me in Hong Kong right away. I'll explain more when you get here. I'm begging you.
Dusty!
I'm almost out of time.
He's all out of time. Raymond Black, the old man gave you a home once, took you and Duncan off the gang-ridden streets of the Barrens, sheltered, educated, slapped sense into you both until you almost resembled productive members of society. And then you took off, left it all behind, landed behind bars for a time, tried to start a new life after that. It's been 8 years since you've heard Raymond's voice, until out of the blue you got this cryptic message, a plea for help, meet me in Hong Kong, right away. And wired to your account enough nuyen to pay for the flight and then some. The descent is rough, a squall comes out of nowhere and sends a solid sheet of rain punching into the suborbital transport. When the ragged shadow of the plane finally skids to a halt at the edge of the cheek-lap cock tarmac. An hour and an indeterminate number of emotional security checkpoints later, you hail a water taxi to Victoria Harbour. Hong Kong looms ahead, pulsing with energy. You know, you can just feel it already, how much more wordy this game is than the previous ones. You step from the churning of the water taxi to the ponderous rocking of the docks, your stomach lurching in the transition. As soon as you're clear, the captain nods once and steers the small craft back to the harbour. Man never said a word, just handed you your worn brown duffel bag when you stepped on board, filled with gear, some stiff new body armour and a note, better safe than sorry, D. Above, smog-thick clouds hang low in the sky, reflecting the lights of the city in a nauseating swirl. The wind changes direction more than once, creating a heady stew of aromas, diesel, sea salt, street food and filth. It's all you can do to keep your in-flight meal where it belongs. I mean, look at this. We've already written more text than is in the SNES game. The first 30 seconds of this one. Two figures stand waiting in the dim light of the pier. The first one is an orc, lean, with an in-your-face muscles and a jaw made to break fists. The second is an elf, one hand resting casually against her hip. Raymond Black is nowhere to be seen. Well, don't you just look like shit. Duncan Wu, the closest thing you have to a brother. You haven't seen the man in 8 years, still charming as ever. He grins. Green's not really your colour, Edmund. Doesn't go nice with that new armour I got you. You open your mouth to respond, something shifts alarmingly in your stomach, a liquid, bubbling sensation. Must be, I guess you got some of your old fortitude at least, considering how much synthahol we used to put down. I'm surprised if you couldn't handle a little chop. Anyway, we gotta go find Raymond. Where's the old man? Never showed up. Still got that same baritone rasp. Had it since he was 12. Wu developed early. No sense standing around then. Where's the meeting place? Not far, just on the other side of the pier here. He jabs a thumb behind him. The woman standing beside him breaks in. We should get going, Duncan. Head back to the meeting point in case your dad shows up. Copy that, Sarge. They're wearing Lone Star body armor. Looks like Duncan Wu's gone private police. You his girlfriend or something? Oh, hell no. The corner of her mouth flicks upward in amusement. I'm his partner. The woman taps her chest with an armored finger. Car. Figured I could use some backup. Didn't know what Raid gotten himself into and wasn't sure you were going to show up. It's a tossed off remark, but there's an undercurrent of resentment in it. Well, surprise, here I am. Yeah, well, I wasn't so sure, you know. He shakes his head. Look, I'm glad you're here, Edmund. Seriously, but I'm going to need some time to get used to having you around again. Been a while since I heard from you, you know what I mean? Memories of sleepless nights in a lock-up flash by. Wondering if you'd ever see Duncan or Raymond again. Wondering if you even wanted to. And then, stepping out into the daylight, suddenly free, the fallout of some obscure corporate restructuring, a few hundred nuyen worth of apology from your former jailers, and a decision to start a new life, to leave the past behind, all of it, until now. Yeah, we can talk about it later, okay? Wu stares at you as goggles reflecting the harbour lights. Yeah, okay. He scans the waterfront, frowning. Let's just find Raymond, who's supposed to meet us in the plaza on the other side of this pier. You've already said that. The sooner we find him, the sooner we can all have a big happy family reunion over dinner. And the sooner I can get a place to get a drink around here. Damn right. Ahead of you, Hong Kong rises serpent light from the sea. Government and megacorp coiled together, writhing in their basket of institutionalized corruption. No one can tell where the snake's body ends and the tail begins. That's what Raymond used to say. Duncan turns and starts down the pier. Carter follows. Oh my god, that was wordy. Fresh construction, standing into the harbour out into the water. I could switch to 4K here just to show you how unbelievably tiny the text is in 4K, but I mean, it's already somewhat small in 2K. So, you know, just imagine that it's half the size again. So this locked gate here, that text would be literally half the size that it is right now. And it's already pretty small. Guard shack at the end of the pier is dark and empty. Duncan gives the gate a push, but it doesn't budge. Ah, well, that was open earlier. Looks pretty solid. Oh, I guess we'll find another way to reach the plaza. I guess so. Strange there's no one here, though, isn't it? Who knows? It's Hong Kong. Not exactly sure how things work around here. Come on, rookie. We can cut through the construction site. I hate it when you call me that. Let's see what gear I've got. Mana bolt. Oh, and I even received a shaman fetish. That's nice. Probably the least exciting one imaginable, but we do have one. The gate is locked, but the nearby control panel appears accessible. Carter pulls it open with a metallic screech that pierces your skull, sending a new wave of pain down to your churning stomach. She examines the control panel for a moment, then throws Wu a backwards glance. Looks like there's another way off the docks on the other side of this gate. I think we can bypass the lock. Stand aside and let her work. Carter fills with some wires and the door hisses open. Got it. Let's go. We got movement! Oh yeah, I forgot about the really annoying car alarm sound in the music in this game. Group on the dock was fishing a package out of the speedboat when you surprised them. Now the package is at the bottom of the bay and the speedboat disappearing into the distance. They close on you, red-faced and yelling. The light of the harbour glints off their weapons as they approach. Leader shouts something in Cantonese, but it's too fast to make out. You're rusty. It's been years since Raymond's house and the language lesson that wouldn't end. The old man never spoke anything but his native language at home. We speak to the authorities. Cantonese is as solid as ever. You never let it drop. You guys doing some late-night fishing? Smuggler smiles. Oh yeah, we're fishing for assholes. Wu points at their weapons. You're going to need some better bait. All you're going to catch with that is trouble. Whispers to Duncan. Seriously, did he teach you that in rent-a-cop school? Turns to you with a smile starting on his face and he thinks better of it. Turns back to the smugglers. Wu flashes his badge. Lone Star. Put the guns down. The smuggler squints at Wu's badge and smiles at his friends. Never seen a badge like that before. Either it's fake or you're some kind of security guard. Grasps his rifle. Either way, this ends the same. I think he's done talking. You are now in turn-based combat mode. Woohoo! You can see here the UI elements are actually very small, even at 2K. At 4K they're basically invisible. It's brutal. So you can see here, my best spell does 8 damage, and this rifle, most basic rifle, does 9 damage, with the option of 15% extra accuracy or burst fire. Although burst fire seems to have been nerfed, so now it costs 2 for 2 shots, which doesn't make any sense. Oh, it increases the chance of critical. That's what they did with it. When it was 2 shots for 1 AP, it was pretty sweet. The only thing is that my willpower is very high for my willpower and skill is very high for my current level or my current position in the game, so my chance to hit is really good. I'm going to presume that my allies here, their stats are garbage by comparison. Yep. 4 and 3. Same, 4 and 3. That's pretty sad. They're also generalized, which is exactly how you don't want to make a character. Of course, she does have the benefits of having a load of spells to play with. Wow, that hurt. Let's see if I can unconfirm that hit. Nope. Well, better remove the 5 damage at least. And here I am waiting for the cooldown. So now I'm down to 6 damage per shot. I gotta fall back. Ooh, that was unlucky. Oh, I missed a 99. This must be hard mode. Alright, that was lucky. Four damage, man. No problem for rifle. That's another funny thing as well, is when you cast a spell, you can move if you're out of range, but I don't think you can tell like what your range actually is. Oh, yes. You think those guys are Triad? Not sure. Don't recognize their tattoos. See how rifle turns living people into dead people, even though this guy is actually not well specialized? But it didn't matter. I need to get my hands on some better spells, that's for sure. An illegal street drug made from leaked kamikaze formula adds 1 body strength and willpower for 5 rounds. Every time the user is attacked, strength increases. Another gate panel. This one's been vandalized and busted up good. A real nightmare of a repair job. Wu stares at the fence considering loops and walls of razor wire glitter in the lamplight. Looks edged with mollow filament. Corporations here don't screw around. Why don't we just cut ourselves an opening? If you could, it would snap back on you. Ever seen high tension wire whip through a human body? You don't want to. You're not touching it. How about it, Carter? I think you can get the gate open. What do you think? Take me a few minutes, though. Frowning, she leans to get a closer look at the mangled fuse box. A few seconds later, she starts pulling wires and yanking fuses, a look of intense concentration on her face. Thought she was a mage. In Cantonese, Edmund. He sounds like Raymond when he does that. The pen of my aunt is sitting on the end table. Satisfied? You couldn't be a dick about this, Edmund. We're in Hong Kong. Only Cantonese from now on, just like when we lived at Raymond's house. Those endless drills are about to pay off. Yes, yes, yes. Just like at Raymond's. He nods once, satisfied, then he turns his back and scans the horizon. At least you can still hand yourself in a fight. So you're a Lone Star now, huh? That's right. Aren't you wondering what I've been up to for the last 8 years? Nope. The silence between you gets louder, heavier. It's broken by the sudden wailing screech. Wu's hand goes to his holster. Screech replaces the sound of grinding wheels. Glancing over the console, you see Carter grinning back at you. Got it. The light from the nearby vendor stall stabs into your eyes, triggering a throbbing ache in the back of your skull. You stop short, squinting as rough voices drift on the wind. Where's everyone else? Where's the damn shipment? Haven't seen them yet, just got here. Long Way's probably waiting for us, so we can just haul it out of the boat for him, that lazy bastard. Let's just hang out here, let him find us. Looks like we're on a stroll through Smuggler Central. These gangers don't know we're here. We could just slip past, or we could clip them. They're already looking for us. We might better take them out now. We've got the element of surprise on our side. While unaware hostiles are on the screen, press the unholster button to enter turn-based combat mode. Okay, and before I do that... Oh, she's got Power Bolt 2, but I've got Power Bolt 1. What the hell? At least they improved all of this. Just thinking. Probably use one of her medkits before I start something, because my health is quite low. Now that was a spicy hit. Whoa, why the music suddenly gets so incredibly loud? Okay, that's weird. It like went to max volume for some reason. And if I like put it up here, it just stayed the same. Okay, that's a really weird bug. Whatever, I'll get over it. Just don't want you guys like being in the comments like, oh my god, the music in my ears. Oh, rifle. So good. Oof. At least with my high spellcasting skill, I have a 99% chance to hit. That carries its own benefits. Okay, it's random. Love that. Alright, I guess up here is where I'm supposed to be going. It's a cred stick that someone dropped. This is totally going to be a fight. Crossing the street, you can make out 4 shadowy figures loitering in the plaza ahead. Troll, orc, dwarf, elf. 2 men, 2 women. They're different from the smugglers on the dock. Alert, poised, professional. You can see that they've made a token attempt to conceal their weapons. The unspoken message is clear. We're strapped. Mind your manners. Who stands up tall takes that amused tone that he gets whenever he's standing toe-to-toe with someone bigger, someone who doesn't know they're about to go down. Evening, folks. You got permits for those bazookas? The thick troll puts his mouth into a comic frown. Permits. Give me a minute. Makes a show of patting his pockets. Nope, guess not. Must have dropped mine in a dumpster along with the last idiot who stepped to us. Wu coolly surveys the scene, nods in a friendly fashion. Is that right? Well then. You can almost feel Wu's cop training kick in. It's like watching a drone execute a command routine. He reaches for his rifle, brings it up quick, but it's too late. By the time it hits shoulder level, an assortment of nasty-looking ordnance is already trained on his head. Carter backs him up. She whips her arms forward, fists blazing with magical fire. Her eyes sweep the scene, darting from one figure to another. Alright, everyone. Just be cool. The thick troll's voice is casual, amused. He shakes his gun in Wu's face. Little late for that, isn't it? How about no one does anything stupid? Just want to talk. Oh, I can see that. Your buddies are totally chill. Something we can do for you, officer? Looking for an old man, Raymond Black. We're supposed to meet him here. You know him? Mm-hmm. Wu's voice gets on edge. You can see a vein in his temple start to pulse. Where is he? Easy, Duncan. That's right. Easy, Duncan. Your friend Raymond never showed. We've been waiting here for the better part of an hour. You were going to meet with Raymond? Mm-hmm. What did he want with you? Troll's yellow-brown tusk shifted smile. He needed friends, the heavily armed kind. The old man hired us to take you all on a little excursion. Wu's brow furrows. Hired you. He takes a moment, looks them over. They're an odd assortment. A cybered-up troll, an orc girl with magical fetishes, a dwarf with a cyber deck slung on her back, and a tall man standing behind them, inscrutable. All with guns trained on Wu. Understanding spreads across Wu's face. His jaw tightens. You're Shadowrunners. The troll nods. Mm-hmm. This is bullshit. Raymond would never hire Shadowrunners. They're criminals. Troll corrects him. Mercenary operatives. Dwarf cuts in. Her voice is soft but strong. Criminal mercenary operatives. So yeah, you were right. Your buddy Raymond was associating with a bunch of hardened criminals. The troll tosses Wu a sideways smile when staring down the barrel of his gun. Sorry to burst your bubble, Lone Star. Guess you didn't know the old man as well as you thought, huh? Wu tries to shake it off, but he's struggling to process the information. You can feel the heat coming off him. The runners sense it too. They tense up tight. They're keyed on Duncan. Their guns are big. Looks on their faces make it clear. One wrong bead of sweat and Wu's going down in a red mist cloud. Carter remains completely still. Her voice is level and moderate. She's done this before. Let's all stay focused. No need for this to get ugly. She speaks quietly to Wu, who listens without turning, his focus squarely on the troll. We need to find Raymond. These people can help us do that. It's about money, right? Let's talk about money. The troll is wary but willing. He lifts the barrel of his gun slightly. I like talking about money. Until the orc girl's had enough of the tension, she blurts it out. The old man wanted us to take him into Kowloon, walled city. Kowloon? I don't know. I'm not very good at Chinese either. She waves a hand at three of you. You too. Two large rats cling to her hip and shoulder. They poke her heads out of the folds of her clothing. They fix their beady eyes on you intently. You know the walled city? No. What's the walled city? Gar rolls her eyes. It's a shithole. The worst slum in the Eastern Hemisphere. Trad clips and news stories can't do it justice. Memories of growing up in the Redmond Barrens flash through your mind. We get it. It's a real bad place. Now why would an old man pay you to take him there? Dwarf standing next to her nods and jumps in. Wouldn't say. He mumbled a lot too. Just kept rambling on and on about how he had to get in. Under ordinary circumstances I would never have accepted the gig, but the walled city's the last place I want to go. But the old man rolled up a truckload of Nuyen, and you gotta eat, right? Wu risks a glance at you. His weapon remains trained on the Shadowrunners, but a flicker of uncertainty plays across his face. Let's say we believe you. What now? Troll flashes you with a smile. It's all tusks and no warmth. Okay, gang, I tell you what. He stares at his team as he slowly starts to lower his weapon. We're all going to put our guns down. Carter! Snipers, take cover! Sound of high-caliber rifle shots hangs in the air. The red dots of laser sights sweep the area. Carter, the troll, and the silent elf lie dead in widening pools of blood, their heads broken open like melons dropped from a 4-story building. The orc girl screams from cover. Nightjar, come on, big man, talk to me. Gunshot, no. She turns to the dwarf, her eyes wide with fear. Oh shit, this isn't good. The voice blares out from the loudspeaker. This is the police. Lay down your weapons and your hands behind your head. Come out where we can see you. Duncan Wu, Edmund, come out where we can see you. You have 3 seconds. Duncan crouches behind cover, his gaze locked on Carter's corpse. His voice comes out a hoarse roar. Stand down, damn it! I'm law enforcement. Lone Star. He's driven deeper into cover by a hail of gunfire. The dwarf shakes her head at him, his voice flat. Save your breath. They won't listen. Use your eyes. These bastards aren't here to make arrests. A sniper shot hits the wall next to her head, showering her in an explosion of plaster. Need a way out of here now. Everyone pipe down, just give me a minute. The rat girl stares at the ground intently, as if listening, then her brow furrows, her eyes go beady and her nose wrinkles up. She begins to sway back and forth, her lips moving soundlessly. Okay, I've got a way out. It's at the end of the street. Everyone come with me. Everyone? We don't need the rent-a-cops, Gobbet. We're the only ones. Little Orc whips her head towards her friend. Their extra firepower is, I got us an exit, but we've got to get past the heat. If we can't shoot our way out of this on our own, if nothing else, they can soak up a few rounds for us. Just stick to cover and keep close. There's a door down the street that leads to a back alley. That's our exit point. If you fall behind, you get left behind. I can't remember if you can kill them all. Oh, the exit's up that way, so I guess I do have to kill them. Okay, alright. Anyway, I'm going to say that's it for now because we are out of time, but as you can see, Hong Kong is ridiculously wordy. Even during combat, it's wordy. We'll see how that works out in the long run. Yeah. Oh, maybe I can go ahead and summon that spirit. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed it. See you guys next time.